Okay, so my next section when I'm looking at my fact finding is things to do in the Lake District. So I've chosen three things. This place is called Haverthwaite and it's a railway station. Now it's not just an ordinary train station, it's an old one where a lot of the trains are steam engines. So they're not they don't use petrol, they don't use electricity, they use coal, and they burn the coal, and that makes the train go. Okay, and actually this place actually has, if you look carefully, I'm not sure if you notice, I know he doesn't have his face on, but this is actually Thomas the Tank Engine. Okay, and this train goes all the way up to one of the places that we actually mentioned in the previous video, which is near Windermere. And basically this train goes all the way up to this next place. Alright, and this is called the Lakes Aquarium, and it's basically if you haven't been to an aquarium before, it's just like a zoo but with lots of things like fish and water animals. So there are lots of different types of fish. They have another famous animal which we will look at shortly. And yeah, no, it's really, really good. So if you were to go to the Lake District, you'd get on the train at Haverthwaite, you'd go all the way up to the place called Lakeside, you'd go to the Lakes Aquarium, and from there, if we look at the previous picture, if you look at this boat actually comes to the aquarium, it picks you up and it actually takes you to Windermere. And when you get to Windermere, this is where you can go. One of the places is a museum called the Beatrix Potter Museum. Now, I know that we have definitely done a story on Peter Rabbit, and that was written by Beatrix Potter. And she was a famous writer, and she's done lots of other famous books, as well as Peter Rabbit. And a lot of people come to visit these places. So yeah, that's another museum. So that's another thing that we can actually do in the Lake District. So you can actually do all of these in one day. You can get the train from here, get on the train, go to the aquarium for a bit, get on the ferry or the boat, and then go to the museum. So one of my favourite things that I like about home is the local dishes or the local foods that we have. And again, a lot of people come to visit just to have these things and come and get them from where they come from. So the first thing we're going to look at is, it's called Kendal Mint Cake. Now Kendal is just the place that it's from, and this is literally just mint cake. It's just mint. It's not really used as a like a dessert or just something to eat. Basically, in the Lake District, lots of people do lots of walking. And when you do lots of walking, you want to have something that will give you lots of energy to keep going. So a lot of walkers use Kendal Mint Cake because it's full of sugar and it keeps them keeps their energy levels high whilst they are walking. The next one we're going to look at is this one here, and it's called Grasmere Gingerbread. So it's basically like it's basically a cake that tastes of ginger, and Grasmere is the place where it's famous for starting. And this is only a tiny, tiny little shop, but I've been here before, and you can visit the shop, you can see the gingerbread being made, and it is beautiful. And finally, probably my favourite is it's called Cartmel, so that's the place where it's from. Cartmel Sticky Toffee Pudding, and basically it's just a cake with toffee, and it'll also have some date paste in, and then you'll have like a toffee sauce, some ice cream, or you can have it with something called custard, But yes, it is absolutely beautiful. So those are the sort of famous foods from my area. Final section I am going to look at is I'm going to look at some animals. So these are animals that are normally found in the Lake District. So the first one we have is a very colourful bird, beautiful, long feathers, can be quite fat, are pheasants. Okay, so we have pheasants, we have red squirrels, and we also unfortunately have grey squirrels. We have some otters, and they are found sort of nearby lakes, rivers, and I know that there were two in the aquarium as well. See a lot of these around, Herdwick sheep. We've got some red deer, the big antlers. They almost look like reindeers, but we've got some red deers, and we've also, I thought it was interesting to add this. We've got a type of falcon called the peregrine falcon, which can be found there too, as well as an osprey, which is another type of bird.